Welcome to another episode of the Speak the Language podcast. Today we are in the office, in the studio, I guess you call it. We are with our good friend Logan Cooke. Logan, thank you for taking the time to hang out with Jordan and myself today.
Yeah, dude. Thanks for the invite.
I don't think us to be that great of a company to hang around with, but
I know you're not.
It's all I got this week, so.
Oh yeah, that's all you had on calendar, all you can squeeze in.
Yep.
So, like we say all the time when we do these summer podcasts, we just like bringing in folks that I guess have an interesting backstory or do something interesting. You have a little bit of both. So I guess I'm not going to tell who you are. You just kind of introduce yourself for us.
Yeah, I'm from Logan Cooke from Darby, Mississippi. It's like 20 minutes from Columbia, kind of.
Yeah.
It's just a little small farming community. Went to Columbia Academy 2014, started at Mississippi State, played there through 18, and then after and I actually didn't grow up a Mississippi State fan. It's kind of just probably about a year before I even committed to the state, became a state fan, so it ended up being kind of cool. My sister was up there and stuff, so
Yeah.
Had a blast up there, killed a bunch of stuff. I mean, I feel like you can't go to a better school with a huge refuge 15, 20 minutes from there. And then 2018 got drafted to Jacksonville Jaguars and been there the past few years. So
Yeah. Pretty wild ride. So
yeah.
As far as like your Mississippi State football career, or not necessarily the football career, like how much? Because I remember talking to which Hunter Renfro played baseball.
Right.
You were football. Like how much were you able to hunt up there? Because it's no secret. I feel like every student that hunted at Mississippi State hunted that refuge.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It's just
No
kind of
doubt.
a thing. So like, how much did you actually get to hunt? Like trying to go back and forth between football and all that.
I mean, whether it's baseball, football, or basketball, it's a grind, in college. So between school, study hall, that's all mandatory stuff, and then obviously practicing and playing. You really don't get a whole lot of free time, but I mean that little window we had, we still found a way to hunt, but
Took advantage of it.
right. And that honestly the funnest time for me to hunt was that as soon as school ended, right before Christmas or right at Christmas break. And we were practicing for bowl games that we were playing in. So, but we wouldn't practice till probably, some days we'd switch it up and practice 9 in the morning. Some days it'd be like 4 in the afternoon. So you got a morning hunt or evening hunt in.
Yeah.
But that was also when the rut was kicking in and stuff. So it was, it was a fun time to hunt. And I was blessed enough to meet the right people at the right times and had a few places to hunt. One out towards, well, never mind. We're going to shut that out towards far down. And forget we're on a podcast.
You don't have to give specific locations.
Yeah, but not too far from campus. Had a couple thousand acres to hunt there. Another place, not too far from campus the other way. So that was also nice to have. We hunted the refuge a lot. We duck hunted it whenever it was available, and then obviously everyone turkey hunted it, I think. But we also tried to find some places that people didn't really hunt a lot. So we took some driving, but you meet people up there, and I mean, y'all know this, and you're in a great part of the country to meet people, and especially if you're a Mississippi State Bulldog, like they love that. So, we found some time, even the spring, obviously, between spring ball to hunt a lot too.
Yeah. The funny thing, like, I went, and I mean, I feel like this is probably we talked about it on this podcast before. This isn't like specific to that particular refuge or public ground or whatever, but I hunted that place all the time when I was up there.
Oh, yeah. Everybody did, though.
And, yeah, everyone did.
It's more of a nature walk than it is going and trying to hunt something.
Valid point. He's not wrong. But I had I had a bunch of different spots that I went to, but I had but one spot that was my favorite for turkeys. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't any spot on that refuge that you had to yourself. But I think part of the reason that was my favorite spot is that's where I had the least run-ins with anybody. It was like the least I had trouble with it. And it's probably been 2-3 years ago maybe. I was up there visiting some family in the springtime, and I didn't have to film or anything the next day. And I was like, you know what? I'm close enough. I'm going to just drive. I had probably about a 50-minute drive in the morning. I was like, I'm going to go hunt the refuge, and I'm going to go to my spot just to see. Why not? Yeah. And I went in there, and it looked like it was not how I'd left it. There was my little little sneaky road to get in there. It looked like a walking trail. Like it was big. There was boot prints all over the place. I was like, oh no, this ain't good. But
yeah, they I had a few run-ins with people out there, which if you hunted enough, you were gonna have plenty of run-ins with people. But one instance, me and Weston Graves, he was a kicker up there at the time, and he had never killed a turkey, and he actually just got in turkey hunting that year. And I think at this hunt, he had never even heard a turkey gobble, and we went down there to one of a place I knew some birds were at, and it was early in the year because if you get that place, you go listen into February, beginning of March before anyone hunts it, and I mean it's lit up.
Yeah, you're like, holy
exactly,
cow.
yeah. And so it was kind of early in the season, right after opening day, kind of, and we had a bird gobble and slipped in. I mean, we might have been 100 yards from him, and sat down, and he's 20, 30 yards in front of me, and he's fired up, like he's looking, giving me a thumbs up, And all of a sudden, the bird just shuts up, and I hadn't even tree-upped at him or anything, and these two guys in an orange vest come walking right from where the turkey was roosted.
An orange vest?
Orange vest. So
what were they doing?
Turkey hunting apparently. I don't know. But,
safety first, got to have that orange.
Hey, I'm not knocking someone wear orange vest, but don't wear orange vest when I'm hunting.
Don't wear it.
But and then me and Weston same year, might have been a week later, we had another run-in with a guy, and the bird was gobbling its miles, and we were kind of getting closer and closer, and saw this guy ride in on a bike, and ended up being a great turkey hunter, and he actually, we got talking, and Weston never killed a turkey, so we were like, all right, we're going to let Weston shoot, and the guy was all for it and stuff. So you have different run-ins with people, and that's the kind of guys you like, like running into.
That is, as far as, hunting, I mean, you probably think it's such a bad rap because you hear all these horror stories of people you run into, but you run into good ones, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How did, remind me of this, y'all two, Jordan and Logan, y'all have known each other.
Yeah, we met.
Known of each other.
Yeah.
We met a couple times up there at a little cookout at some trailer houses in Starkville.
Oh, so it was up in the Starkville days, too.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Trailer park days.
I think we all had them.
Oh, yeah.
I lived in a trailer at a catfish farm for 6 or 8 months or something. I don't really want to go back to that life, but it was.
I feel that.
So you do the kicker thing at Mississippi State. Did you have I think I have NFL chances, or how did that go?
Yeah, it's kind of funny, man. I mean, we were so we left. All right, first off, any college athlete can tell you get burnt out on it. The whole school deal for 4, 5, 6 years, however long you're there.
I can relate with that, doing this stuff.
Right.
I had a buddy, and I won't say who he is just because I don't know if he'd want me to mention it or not, but he played college ball, and I don't know what kind of chances he had, but I know by the time he got to his senior year, he was just like, I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
He was just so tired of it.
Yeah, and even that last spring going into my senior year, and I messed around with baseball one year too, and that even added more to the plate. But going into my senior year, it was man, this is this can't end quick enough. The games and stuff were awesome, but the whole class, study hall, practice. I mean, it's just pretty much you're there. I don't know how baseball does it exactly, but football, I mean, we had 2 or 3 weeks off in May, and that was it. Starting in June 1st, we were back at it. So, I mean, it's just a grind. So, especially after my senior year, and it was ironic, we played in the Gator Bowl my senior year, so that was down in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
And so we left, and I told my dad, I was like, man, that's it. I'm good. I lived it. I wanted to play college football, and I did. And, I think he was kind of the one that was like, well, I mean, you need to give it a shot,
Yeah.
And so we, agent got in touch with me, and we kind of made that work and ended up getting drafted. So,
yeah.
The Lord had different plans, and I'm glad I'm doing it now because I couldn't imagine doing anything different now. So it all worked out.
How is it transitioning for someone that grew up in Mississippi your whole life, and all of a sudden now you're in Jacksonville?
It's not that bad. I mean, you go, which y'all seen, we've been wearing the fish out.
Yeah,
so,
you're fishing all the time.
Yeah,
I don't like you very much.
So the spring and summertime there, first of all, spring, you start there. I mean,
yeah,
you're in the north part of the Osceola territory. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. And then you go 30 minutes west. So I live about a mile from the beach as a crow flies. You go 30 minutes west, and you hit one of my leases out there is hardwood bottoms and ridges on a creek. And then the other half of that same property is palmetto flat. So it's cool to see the diversity. Right.
That's cool.
And you're right there on that transition line from kind of the Florida swamps to the piney hills.
Yeah, so I mean it's awesome, man. And we go, we're 3 hours from a place in South Carolina we hunt. And then plus, if you want to go to South Florida, you're just right there. So it's really a cool little area to be in. If you would have told me that before I went, I wouldn't have believed you. But it's we're having a blast down there. So
that's good.
I don't think many people realize the recreation opportunities that Florida has. They think about fishing. Of course,
it's incredible.
But the deer, I mean, you don't kill any big deer, but there's a bunch of them.
Oh, there's a bunch of them. Like a bunch of little chihuahuas running around.
But you can have a blast going bow hunting, shooting a bunch of those.
Oh, yeah, hogs, anacondas.
Anacondas. Yeah, you can go down to, you ever drove down, you hunted the pythons yet?
No, I'm out on that. I get nervous shooting a black runner. I ain't shooting a python.
There's that guy. He's on Instagram all the time. He's a Python Cowboy. I've tried to get him on here. He agreed to come on this podcast, but I guess he's a pretty busy dude, and we just never can make it work out. But that guy, I think he's insane.
That's crazy. Oh, and iguanas. We have a bunch of. We don't have iguanas, but you go a little further south. Yeah. They shoot them too.
Well, that's what that Python Cowboy guy. He's always videos of him popping these iguanas, and he'll be like in someone's backyard.
Oh yeah, shooting with air rifles.
Someone call him. They're up in my pool, and he goes and wipes them out. Like that's.
Apparently, they're really good eating.
I've heard that too.
Really?
Yeah.
An iguana.
Yes, sir.
I bet it tastes like chicken.
I mean, I would try it.
When I think about that, I'm thinking about like frog leg type meat.
Yeah.
Which I love frog legs.
Frog legs are good.
Yeah.
That is, but I mean, you're right though. Florida has, because I remember I talked to Brad Gibson about it last summer. We actually did a podcast about it, like all the stuff that they can do down there. So I imagine you don't get very bored.
No, you don't. There's something to do year round. Plus, we have bears. Those are annoying though. I mean.
Tear up everything.
Yeah, I'm sure they have them south too, but I know for places we hunt on that just west of Jacksonville area, they're loaded.
Really?
Yeah, and you can't you gotta be careful what you try to feed deer and turkeys and stuff because the bears will come in there and they'll lay down and stuff and just eat and throw up, and just won't leave.
They're like overgrown raccoons.
That's all it is.
That's what I tell people all the time because folks are like, man, what if they're talking. I get just because if you don't know, then you don't know.
Right.
They're like, well, a black bear is going to come attack. I was like, a black bear is an oversized raccoon.
But look, they
But.
told me that stuff too when I got in this lease down there, and I was kind of worried about it because where I'm at in Mississippi, we don't really have them.
Yeah.
I know there's some on the river in places, but so I'd never even seen one in the wild, and I was bow hunting. This was like the second time. I think I sent you a Snapchat. It's like the second time I was bow hunting there, and I was walking out, and a big black bear walked out, and he was, I don't know, I'm guessing 200 pounds. He's big old bear, and I just froze and freaked out, and he looked up and saw me. He was like 80 yards from me, and I was hoping he'd run because they said they're pretty scared of you.
Yeah.
And he just kept on walking down the road, and I was like, man, I don't like this. So.
That's like they got, what do they call it, like the Panthers and stuff down there too.
Yeah, down in South Florida.
Yeah.
So some did video of one out of a ground blind. They were fighting.
They're out of a surround view.
Yeah.
It was out of a Primos surround view. Someone sent it to us. There was two of them going to town. And you had one when you were filming from Icy Oak, didn't you have one follow y'all down a road or something?
Yeah, we were trying to find a turkey and just running and gunning, and you know how the swamps are down there. They got them big long right of ways bush hogged out. And we looked behind us 200 yards, and there's one that's following us.
I don't like that.
I could do without
I'm
that.
out.
Like the black, Panthers. No,
I'm okay with it as long as I can see. But you get down there in them Palmetto Flats, you can't see.
Oh
5
yeah, they
feet.
come around the corner.
Yeah.
I don't. The Panthers and mountain lions, them stuff give me the hibby-jibbies because them suckers are crafty.
Mm-hmm.
If a black bear is an overgrown raccoon, then a panther's a oversized bobcat, and those suckers are slick.
Yeah.
That's
They're an apex hunter for sure.
yeah. So I remember when we were in New Mexico, before we actually had that run-in with the mountain lion out there, the guy that was out there, I said something to him I've never seen a mountain lion. He said, well, I can promise you they've seen you. And I was like, don't tell me that. Don't tell me that. I don't want to know that.
Yeah.
What did the coronavirus stuff do to y'all this year? Because are y'all normally practicing a whole bunch this time of year, and it got shut down?
What is a day normal practice season like in the NFL? Because I don't have a clue.
Just go this one at a time. Let's go one at a time with one of these.
That was 2 tough questions.
That's 2 tough questions. Yeah, let's go. We'll go Jordan's first.
All right.
Normal practice.
Now
day.
my position's a little different. I guess it'd kind of be like a pitcher, and in the majors or something. But we pretty much team meeting starts at like 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
It's pretty much just like hey, this is our schedule for the day. This is our practice schedule. Then you split up, go to position meetings. We go meet with our position coach, watch the film from the day before, kind of talk about what you're going to do that day. If it's you asked in season, right? So in season, you're going to, different days. So like Wednesday would be our punt day. So when we go to our individual meetings, we'll be looking at our, the returner we're playing and stuff. And that's aspects of the game that I didn't even know happened. Because in college, it's like, look, kick it right, kick it left, kick it down the middle if you want to. We really don't care. Just kick it far.
Just kick it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just kick the ball.
Long hang time and long way.
Exactly. So, but now it's just, like Tyreek Hill, for instance, if you're playing that dude, like you don't want to hit a ball further than 45 yards because he might take it to the house. So whoever you're playing, we'll kind of break him down and kind of, look at their rush fronts and stuff like that. And then we meet for, maybe an hour. So it's not too bad. And then usually we go get a workout in, and then practice starts at like 11 or so. And after practice, we'll have, a little bit of break to, get recovery, stuff like that. Go eat, and then we'll have kind of like our closing position meetings for the day, and that's pretty much it. So we're out like 4 o'clock, so It's not too bad.
Pretty much kind of like a normal work day.
Yeah, you're 8 to 4, 8 to 5.
Yeah.
So.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I had no clue how any of that works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, are y'all normal? Like, it's the Corona stuff? Are y'all normally practicing a bunch that time of year, and y'all couldn't because of all that?
Yeah. We so we started April 15th. It's called OTAs, and so that's when all the guys from the year before report, and it's like workouts. We'll kind of do some on-field practice stuff. A lot of meetings, especially this year with some new coaching staff, especially for the offense. Like they're going to incorporate all their, all their stuff. So all that's going on. And then I think it's like May 10th, all the rookies, draft guys or free agent guys will report. And it's just, getting them in the system then. And then we start mini camp in like beginning of June. So all this period is April 15th pretty much through like June 6th or 7th, we're doing stuff. And we're usually out the door. The vets are about like 11. So it's not, it's not too taxing, but this year we had to do everything online, so it made it a little tough, for meetings and stuff like that. But I don't know. It was definitely a bad year for the turkeys. So.
Yeah, you had some free time. I think everybody did.
Yeah.
That is across the board. Yeah. Do they think? Surely they think like the NFL season will be able to start on time, right?
I hope so, man.
Yeah.
We're scheduled to start camp on time, so if all that keeps playing out, I hope we do.
I would think. There's obviously it's still around, but there's so much of it kind of starting to lift. I guess you would have to think that they'd be able to start on time.
I don't know. There's like two sides of it. When all this started happening, you had two sides, and I was one of the ones who was like blowing it off.
Yeah.
And then my wife's a nurse, so as soon as her switch flipped, I was like, all right, I need to take it kind of serious too.
Yeah.
So
The same way with me.
yeah. So now it's like, what do you do? Do you still stay quarantined and shut up, or do you go about your life? And I think that's what we try to do. And I don't know. I just hope that numbers don't go up. And I don't know. Who knows? I'm not a doctor.
It's such a weird time. Or like we talked about when you walked in the door, like you and Jordan had that awkward, like, do we fist bump?
Handshake,
Do we
fist
handshake?
bump.
Do we
Yeah.
bro hug? Do we wave?
I know.
had
It's
this
weird times.
This is 2 days in a row I've had this conversation with somebody I've seen, go try to greet, and you're like, what do I do?
Yep.
High five? No.
A handshake has became the most awkward thing in the world now.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It's such a strange time. That's what I've talked to everybody. That everyone's going through this, but it's different to hear other people's perspectives. So when football, so like, granted, let's say either this upcoming football season or the last one, and say it's going to like a regular football season, how much time? Like, I imagine, like, you're pretty much just football that whole time, right? Is that?
Yeah. Pretty much. So I guess we kind of start when camp starts end of July. We're pretty much rolling until we're done. And so if you don't make playoffs, it's like end of December. Now we add another game, so it's going to be beginning of January. So we have usually it works out we're off every Tuesday. So pretty much Tuesdays is my hunting days, and then my wife loves to hunt too. So honestly, I'm not all about deer hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, I love turkey hunting, duck hunting and stuff, but when there's nothing else to hunt, you're deer hunting. So, but she's about it. So, on Tuesdays we're deer hunting, and that's kind of how it works. So, but then as soon as that, season's over, playoff run's done, we're chasing ducks because we don't get the duck hunt. Ooh, we duck hunt some down there, but it's it's not like it was here growing up.
What kind of ducks do y'all even kill there?
Mottle ducks, mallards. You'll kill some teal down there, McAndrews when they fly over. So.
What are you hunting in mostly? Like
marsh stuff.
Really?
Yeah, which is different than anything I've ever done. And we were me and Brandon Linder, one of our centers or whatever. I think you might have met Linder a long time ago.
Yeah.
But my first year down there, he had seen some ducks flying in, whatever. He lives on the water and just awesome spot. And so we went and hunted them. We actually killed a 3-man limit of mallards and mottle ducks, like
That's
my
cool.
second duck hunt down there. So, but we hadn't had anything like that since.
When you first got
I
down
bet
there,
you're like, this is a hidden gem.
I know it, and no other boats were doing it. I'm like, man, what are these people thinking?
Yeah.
But I think we lucked up.
Yeah. That's what. So I remember like last fall, y'all were. I think it must have been a bye week or something. Y'all went to. Didn't y'all hunt with Tommy?
Yeah, we went to Whiskey Ridge up there and had a ball, man. Tommy's awesome, and it was like as soon as you walk in the door, it's like you've known him for years. So, which y'all have hunted with him a lot.
You're talking way too positively about Tommy. We can't.
All right, I thought it was a podcast. We can talk real now.
Jordan, quick, say something negative about him to even it out.
He stinks.
He didn't hunt with us any this spring. He took Jimmy and just left me and Jordan to the wolves.
He said, y'all know your way around up here.
Just kicked us to the side. Like
he trusts y'all. He had to show the other ones how to do it.
Well, that was the I could see. Didn't you? I was looking for coffee one morning. There was some backwoods grinding there.
Yep.
Did you leave that up there?
Yeah, they had sent me some, and I left it up there. I actually left it by accident, but I hope y'all used it. So.
It ain't there no more.
There. Well, that's good. Someone used it.
Yeah.
Drank up.
Yeah. So, is that like your normal thing? You have like a bye week. Y'all like take an opportunity to go hunt somewhere. What do y'all?
Yeah. So my rookie year, bye week, actually, me and her weren't engaged or anything yet. So I actually came home, and then then this year we were like, hey, let's take a trip. So we started looking around, talked to y'all, and y'all hooked me up with Tommy, and we went up there. And then this year, I think our bye week's like the end of October, so we're still looking. We're going to look for a place to go to.
Be good rut time in the Midwest.
Yeah. So it was, and that's something me and her never got to do, and she loves deer hunting, and so we decided to make a trip, and just none of us, we didn't kill anything, but we both had cool encounters, and we both had shooters within bow range, so it was a cool trip and a cool experience for us to go up there at the beginning of November, which was like best time you can go. So it was awesome, and I'm looking forward to it again.
Yeah. Had either of y'all ever done that before in that part of the country?
No, never have. I've turkey hunted North Missouri up there. Just a little bit west of where we were with Tommy. So I've seen that part of the country, but to get a deer hunt, it was it's cool.
The Midwest rut, when you see it for the first time, is pretty wild.
Yeah, I think we saw ratio. I bet we saw the whole trip. I bet I saw 4 or 5 does. And, we might have seen 15 bucks.
They were hiding.
Oh yeah, and so it was cool. Everything you hear about and watch on TV and stuff. You got to be a part of it, so it was neat.
Yeah. So you mentioned that the center that you hunted with, you got anyone else on that team that shares the common affinity for hunting, or you kind of?
I mean, you have guys that'll go. There's a lot of guys who will fish and like to fish, and you have some other guys who will go hunting. But I think me and Linda are kind of the only ones that really have the bug,
Right, yeah.
So.
The other ones that just kind of go if they feel like it.
Right.
Yeah.
Following that dude, I think he turkey hunted like every day of season this year.
Every day. Look, there was a time which we were, had the COVID stuff going, so we couldn't, hunt, and my wife was actually on day shifts at the time, so she was leaving at like 5:30 in the morning. So I'm leaving at 5:30 in the morning, and then when she's off, we're hunting. So, but there was a time went by where I think I hunted 27 days straight, and I told her, I was like, I think I need to sleep in this morning.
Yeah.
It's killing me.
Yeah, you do that many days in a row, it's wearing on your body.
Yeah, but also like I think especially for Linda too, but any turkey hunters in the NFL this year is like we're usually working at every morning that April 15th through. Beginning of June time. So to be able to have it off, you really had to take advantage of it because we might never have a spring like that again. So
that's what I was talking to. I mean, like so we talked to Hunter Renfro last summer. I talked to Kevin Smith last summer. He plays for the Angels. And then Gary Stanton.
Mm-hmm.
All the Gary's Muscadine bloodline, but they're most of the time they're playing shows.
Oh yeah,
every week, every weekend, and then Hunter. I think Hunter said, I don't want. It was, but this spring because of the Corona stuff, that was the first turkey he'd killed in the springtime in like a long time because he's usually doing baseball. Same thing for Kevin. It was wild.
Yeah, but even like, I go back and look, and I really ain't thought about it till recently, but for the high school. Junior high school, all the way until last year, like every spring, I play baseball too. So like you're booked. So this is the first spring where we really just got to be, all right, we're going to turkey hunt every day we can. And it was cool.
You didn't enjoy that at all, did you?
No, it was terrible. It was awful.
That's cool though, because I'm glad so many folks like that got the chance to take advantage of it because, like it's, Lord willing, we won't still be dealing with this come next spring just for the greater good, but. You won't have that opportunity again next spring if it's like that. Neither will any of the other guys I talked about beforehand. So it's just kind of one of those things. Wild times. When did you start? I'm kind of taking it back to the football thing.
All right.
So did you have like when you started playing football, like way back when, like when it all first started? Were you like, this is where, like I'm gonna do this?
So. I wanted to be a quarterback, and I played that growing up. And then in high school, I went to wide receiver and quit playing quarterback because I realized I didn't have a chance to go play college at quarterback.
Right.
But I started kicking and stuff, kind of the 4th, 5th grade, where I wanted to like actually learn how to kick. And then I think I got serious about it. Like my sophomore, junior year of high school, I realized that I kind of had a shot to play college football. And that was all I really wanted to do was play college, and then now I've kind of surpassed the college stuff.
Yeah.
But I never really thought I'd play NFL. I never really honestly wanted to, but now like I told you earlier, it's like it's the most coolest job I could ever imagine doing, and just opened so many doors and stuff. So no, I definitely like God's plan better than my plan was.
It usually works out better.
Yeah, exactly.
How is it like?
What? Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
What did you plan on going to school for? Like, what did you want to have a career in?
So I started in business ag, and I realized there was a lot more business in it than I thought. And so I got out of that and switched to sports administration, mainly because I really had no idea what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. And honestly, still to this day, like if football ended tomorrow, I'd be kind of scratching my head. All right, what are we gonna do? But
used car dealership.
Yeah, always an option.
Dude, I think everyone, or most of my friends anyway, when they were in college, they got up there and they're like, I don't know what I want to do.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly,
he did the major switching thing.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No,
no. I mean, if I didn't go to the NFL, I would have, I don't think I would have had trouble finding the job. But it's like, what do I do? And what do I? And I feel like I'd have a bunch of A, B, C plans and then end up maybe at F, and that's what I do the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That was my major, and so.
Yeah. I got you. It happened. Picture this. I don't even know if I've told you this, but when I graduated high school, I had a scholarship to Ole Miss. And I'd gone up there, had a dorm and everything.
What?
I was going to pre-med. I was going to be a surgeon.
Oh, God.
Picture that. No. Picture that.
I've seen you skin a deer. There's no way.
Picture that. I went up there. I mean, I had the dorm picked out and everything. And I don't know what, I can't even remember what happened. I was just like, I ain't no surgeon. Like,
God, I can't imagine that. Look, so we did a deal with Nathaniel Maddox came down and filmed a hunt down in Florida with us this past spring, and he was telling us he was doing a story with Mike from TK and Mike.
Yeah.
And do y'all know what Mike does for a living?
Mm-mm.
He's a helicopter nurse.
What?
Really? So it like blew my mind.
Yeah.
And but it was funny because we were joking. We were like, man, I couldn't imagine being like have a helicopter have to come pick me up and Mike get out. And he was my nurse.
Just imagine, like Jordan has like appendicitis or something, and he has to go to the hospital. And I come walking in the room with the lab coat, and I'm like, Jordan, I'm going to have to remove that appendix, man. Just to think about that. Picture it in your head.
I'm a balk on that.
I sit there. I tell that story to some people. They're like, "You were gonna do what?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I was gonna be scalpel, man, cutting dice."
Oh man, that's hilarious.
That's crazy where the Lord put you.
Yep.
Sir, we've successfully removed your kidney. I was in here for. Yeah, it is pretty wild sometimes when you look back and see the path you take and how much it winds and twists and where you end up. But luckily for you, it seemed to have ended up in a good spot.
Yeah, it has. It's fun, man. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, that's good, man. I think we about hit. Oh man, we broke 30 minutes. Hey-oh. Logan, I appreciate you, man.
Oh yeah, dude. Thanks for the invite and letting me come on.
Dude, it's always fun to talk, especially because you're kind of local, you know.
Yeah.
It's fun to talk to guys like you and hear their stories, hear about what they like to do, and wish you nothing but the best. Hopefully, the Corona stuff will ease up and y'all can have a regular football season this fall.
Yep. Fingers crossed. Hope so.
Jordan, you got anything to add?
I enjoyed it.
Enjoyed it. All right, fellas, that'll be it for today. As always, thank you for listening to the Speak the Language podcast.